Alright guys, so if you're new to my channel, this is your first time here. This is my Talk Dragon Tuesday, which is probably one of the most popular of my series where we go over the week's news. And I also do other things on here between tutorials and so forth, and I've got a lot of really cool things I've been working on, so there's a lot of changes coming to the channel. So be sure to stick around. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss out on future videos and know exactly what's coming. Alright guys, so let's jump into the biggest part of this video, which is all the headlines for the week. So this week, of course, is the second week of Duskfall season. Last week we actually had the feeding event. If you are new to the game or you really don't understand how to prepare for the feeding events, then be sure to go check out my playlist called the Event Guide Series, and you're actually going to see one that's called Feeding. I think I'm going to try to do a new one, a more updated version here in the next couple months, or I'd say months, that way it's ready for the next season. Because guys, it will come at least once every season, usually in the very beginning, so be sure you prepare for it. You know, save back every bit of your food pack, save back your XP potions and so forth. If you absolutely need something to get through the feeding event, that's one thing, but the best thing to do is to keep that all for the future feedings, because you can get some massively awesome gifts in there. Alright guys, so the thing is, this is week 2. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that were like, okay, so just as usual, it's going to be the feeding event, and then it's going to hop over into the other minor event, which is what I assumed as well. So, of course, it's not going to be the fortification this week. Instead, be the PvP fight pits. There was a lot of players that reached out to War Dragons and said, look, you know, you always put the feeding and the fortification in the beginning, and I can't grow. And yet you have the, you know, the discount dragon, and it really messes us over. So they thought they would be very helpful to those that asked that, and they gave one minor and one major event in the first 2 weeks of this season to kind of help those players out. Now, this week, like I said, will be the fight pits, which is pretty exciting. If you do not know how to do the fight pits, please also go check out that video. There are some little tricks that you can use in fight pits. For example, don't put it all in the beginning. A lot of people put everything they've got right off the bat in the beginning because you want those sigils so bad. But the best thing to do is, of course, to slowly put out your resources and, you know, make them last throughout the event. Hit consistently versus putting it all in the beginning. So again, prepare because the fight pits is coming. Okay, so with that being said, this is also going to cause a little bit of strife for some of the players in the game because, you know, Cavaliris is going to be 50% off for the first 2 weeks. This is the last week you're going to be able to take advantage of that. So if you're going for the Mythic, for example, that needs to be your main focus because that's going to get you the biggest discount possible on getting paythacks. With that being said, this is also the PvP, which is most generally when people want to go for that bonus for your egg tokens. So when a lot of people were saying, oh, no, why do you always start with the feeding? You know, realistically, that is a great method. Start out with 2 of the minors, that way you can focus on the 50% off, and then hit that egg token bonus tile so that during the 3rd event, which is the PvP. But again, they really wanted to show you guys that they are listening. PvP or PG really is trying to listen and give you guys what you want. And I know there's a lot of people that don't believe that. But here in turn, people think they knew what they wanted, and now everyone's upset. Because now they're having to choose good points in the event by going through for the egg missions, or, you know, take advantage of this 50% off. So those of you that are in that situation, if you have diamonds, rubies, and you have chests, I would suggest that you, of course, hit hard in the first 24 hours. And if you have Atlas, be sure to hit the Atlas bases, for example, and get as many chests as possible during the chest hunting phase. This way you can use any of the resources you currently have in the PvP. And then once you've done that, then you'll be able to, of course, in the next PvP or whatever, go for the egg mission bonus, and that's going to actually elongate what you get. So that would be my suggestion. So in all reality, anyone that was like, no. Now, those of you like myself that are not really interested in the 50% off dragon, all I did was took him to the legendary regeneration rune so that I could put that on Axie. So for me, it's perfectly fine. I'll just go straight to the egg mission because I know week 3 they're supposed to be coming out with the discount Dragon Rider. So the discount Dragon Rider is to be announced actually this week in their live stream, probably on YouTube, and they've got Twitch, and of course they have Facebook. So do not miss that because that is when we'll see the first Dragon Rider to be revealed. And like I said, it will be half price when it first comes out. So for me, again, I'm going to work on my egg bonus to the first 100%. Then week 3, I'm going to work on my Dragon Rider because I don't know. I just have this sneaky suspicion, and I don't know, but I have this feeling that maybe, just maybe, you know, one day they will release Atlas to the entire crew of War Dragons. And then if they do that, of course, they might take away the riders. And I've been saying that for I don't know how long now, probably since January, that, you know, I feel that I should take advantage of the riders because they may not stay in seasons. And so I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and get my rider. I've got plenty of great dragons and I've got plenty of time. There is no rush. I don't need all the dragons. So I'm going to focus my attention on riders. So I'm super excited to see what this male or female, I'm not for sure, Dragon Rider looks like and what their boosts will be for my dragons. So don't miss out on that, guys. I don't know how much information they're going to give on each one, but more than likely it'll be broke down just like when they reveal any other thing. So I would make sure you keep an eye on all 3 of those streams. If you do not watch War Dragon live streams, you are really missing out because not only do they, you know, reveal things for the upcoming seasons, upcoming dragons, but they also let us know about changes, and there's some other really cool things like what's coming up this week on Twitch live streams. So be sure to check it out because they're actually going to be doing a dragon name and lore contest. So I guess they did a Sculpt a Dragon with the community, and more than likely we might see this dragon in the future. Now you can get all the information on what it is I'm hinting if you go check out the Twitch live stream. I know I'll be there, so be sure to shout out if you see me in there. But there will actually be a contest during this, so you're going to be able to name this dragon and give it some lore and get some goodies in return. So don't miss that Twitch so you know exactly what all the details are. And then of course I'll spin you guys up here on my channel next week. All right, let's talk about Cavaleris, the first dragon that I want to, you know, do my quick spin on review of for this season. So we're going to go over each and every one of them really quickly, what my personal thoughts are on them and if you should go for them. So number 1, if you should go for them. With this one, if you're going for Pathox, then you definitely need to be getting this dragon, especially while it's half price, because that is going to help make your ultimate cost on Pathox much cheaper. However, if you're low level, I also think this is a dragon you should be focused on 100%, especially while it's half price, because lower level players are going to have a lot harder time, you know, gaining points in events because they, you know, you're going to hit smaller accounts in the PvPs. You're going to have dragons that are cheaper to feed. Your buildings are going to cost less to upgrade and so forth. So if you're a lower level player, like level 60 or whatever, then I suggest getting Cavaleris and taking him as far as you can. This way you have one that doesn't top out so quickly. So my first focus would be Cavaleris. And then maybe for you, I would even think about working on the discount rider in the next in the next week coming in. So this way you have a great dragon and you have a great rider as well. Now, with Cavaleris, outside of those 2 purposes, the only reason I actually worked on Cavaleris is because, well, he's half price. So he's a half price dragon, which means that the goodies along the way are 100% worth it. But the reason I worked on him is he has a spell called Regenerate. And the Regenerate spell is also on my new baby, Axie. So for me, I've been working on this dragon just because this dragon is going to give me the ability to, you know, have that extra rune and that glyph to, of course, shorten the cooldown time on Axie. So I'm getting this dragon basically just to throw it away and put these on Axie, but not literally. This dragon will more than likely become one of my purge dragons. So it's not that it'll be a complete waste. I am going for him just for that Regenerate rune and glyphs. So that's my opinion on Cavaleris. Outside of those reasons, I'm not a huge fan of him, not because of his spell sets or anything, but because he is a warrior. If you love warriors, then he is going to be a wonderful dragon for you. Now, the next one is Sylphin. Now, Sylphin is a sorcerer, and as many of you know that have watched a lot of my videos in the past, I am a massive fan of sorcerers, but you know, the last few have been somewhat disappointing for me. I wasn't crazy about the one I got in the last season, which was Coatl. And it wasn't so much that its spell set wasn't what I wanted, because it did have the white lightning, which I love the white lightning spells. But the problem is it's like whenever she hits things with her lockdown feature, whatever you want to call it, it's like it doesn't have the same power in behind its punch as my Equester does. So I don't know if it's a rune thing or what, but they're the same level, and it's just, it just doesn't feel right. So when I watched them flying this dragon the other day, it literally made me think of Coatl. So for me, it's not that I don't like this dragon, it's just I'm not super excited about it. So I'm going to wait and see what they're coming out with later before I'd even decide to go for this dragon. Out of the dragons right now, if I was to choose between Cavaleris and Sylphin, I would of course have to choose Sylphin because it's got a lot more, you know, to it, a lot of things you got to do, which, like I said in past videos, warriors put me to sleep. So this thing would actually keep me kind of perked up and awake at least. But again, I mean, if you're going for Paythox, then these two dragons are going to be a must for you in order to get there. And I think that these dragons will be good ones, especially up in higher levels. Now, any of you that are low-level players, and I mean low as in, you know, level 80, don't expect yourself to make it to Paythox. You know, it's not the end of the world. It goes faster than what you think. I've been playing this game for a year now, and to be honest with you, it doesn't feel like I've been playing but for maybe a few months. It has gone so fast. There's been so much happening, and you know, a lot of dragons that come out every single season. So just hang in there, hang tight, get yourself some great dragons. The legendaries, for example, are amazing, fantastic dragons. Put a rider on it, and they're nearly as strong, if not stronger in some cases, than your mythic dragons. So just hang in there, and then I guarantee you, you're going to find yourself in a better position to grab up one of those mythics in the near future. Now, speaking of mythics, the mythic of this season is Paythox. Well, and I should say one of the mythics of this season, because they've really threw out a big twister on us, because there will be a warrior mythic in the second part of the season. So Paythox is definitely worth it if you have the means to go for him. If you saved back, like let's say last season, and you saved back all your rubies, or you saved back chests, then you will definitely want to try to go for this dragon, because his spell set is amazing. I actually saw them flying this dragon on War Dragon's live stream. If you have not seen them flying these dragons out, guys, be sure to go check it out. They've got you know, live streams on YouTube. They've got them on Twitch, and they do have them also on Facebook. But be sure to go check them out so that you can see what it is that they do. PG Crisis and Arliana do fly these dragons for you guys live on their stream, so go check that out. But keep in mind that these are new to them, so whenever you do watch these, they may not get them perfect in the beginning. So if you keep checking back, you're going to be able to see, you know, their progression with these dragons and see how much, you know, these dragons can actually do. So don't miss out on that. All right, again, guys, the season is moving along. We're in week 2, and if you notice here, week 1 they released, of course, Cavaleris, Sylphin, and the Mythic Dragon, as well as the Egg Token Boost line. And like I said, week 3 will be the first Dragon Rider. There will be 2 this season. So make sure you check back next week for all the details on the upcoming Dragon Rider, which I'm so excited about. At least I hope I am. I mean, all I know is it's a Dragon Rider and it's half price, so it's totally worth it for me. So hopefully, as more information comes in, I can get more excited and prepare you guys an awesome video for next Talk Dragon Tuesday. So anyways, comment in the video below what it is that your plan is. You know, are you going for the mythic? Are you going to go for just the half prices just to kind of get the awesome goodies and so forth? What is it you plan to do? And of course, I also want to talk about the one last thing of the day, which is this week's giveaway. Now, every week I actually do a drawing for a $20 in-game pack here on my channel. And usually I tell you something like put a hashtag, your favorite dragon, or hashtag whatever, and then put your in-game name. And then, of course, we, type them all up, print them up, and then, of course, cut them up live on stream and draw the name of the winner. Now, before I tell you the details on this week's giveaway, let me remind everyone that yes, I, RPW, am the one that actually chooses the winners of every week's contest, but the War Dragons themselves are the ones that actually will distribute these prizes. So if you have any questions about prizes and so forth, you can always check out their websites, their forums, or you can even message their help desk. Anyways, with that being said, this week's contest is actually something that's been going on for about a month now. If you'll remember, back about a month ago, I introduced a new show coming to the channel, which is...
What did you say? That's Chat Bloopers in War Dragons. What?
Alright guys, so of course entries have been flowing in over the past month, but there is still time. Later this week, we'll actually be, featuring my favorites of this series that everybody has sent in, and we'll actually be doing our first big show on War Dragon bloopers. So be sure to check back for that later this week. And we will actually announce the winner during that video. So if you have not already turned in a blooper, then be sure to do so. Now, what do you need in order to turn in a blooper? So you're going to go pick a blooper. You're just going to screenshot something out of the team chat, league chat, group chat, or even in your own line chat. And you're welcome to cross out names if you want to reserve privacy, but I do ask that you keep it family friendly. Do not send in screenshots that could get someone banned. Now, with that being said, we're going to move into the fact that in order for you to turn this in to me, you can either send it to me in line, and my name in there, of course, is going to be royalpaynewife, or on Facebook Messenger, because those are the two I get the notifications on. I actually see the messages coming in. If you've already sent me one and you haven't heard from me, be sure to pop in to any location, even in game, and let me know that you sent me one so that I can go find it, especially if you send it on Instagram or on Twitter. With that being said, hurry up, get those turned in, guys, because you have until midnight Central Standard Time on Thursday night, because Friday I'll actually gather all of these up together, compile it into a really cool video, and choose my winner, which will be announced either Friday or Saturday. So hurry up, guys, get those turned in. Alright, that is the end of today's video. Now, if you liked all the information I shared in today's video, don't forget to show me some love and give my video a thumbs up. And if you weren't quite happy, my feelings won't be hurt. Go ahead and give me a thumbs down. And then, of course, don't forget before you leave to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications.